Hello girls, my name is Dr. Herin Otieno Menya. I am the director for the teacher training program of African Institute for Mathematical Sciences, Rwanda. Today we are very excited because we have put together inspiring messages from fellow women, women who are scientists, women who are born and who have lived in Rwanda and have gone to schools like you are in today, but they have been able to do science through secondary school into university and are currently championing science careers across the country. Through this video, I hope you'll be inspired, you'll be able to get some idea on how you as aspiring scientists can work through your school years to ensure you live your dream of being a woman scientist. As you listen to the fellow women scientists, please ensure that you take notes and you actually pick a strategy that you can employ to be better.
My name is Wera Mariklel. At KivuWater, I am a power plant technician.
My name is Claire Karkezi. I'm a medical doctor and a neurosurgeon. I work here at the Rwanda Military Hospital.
As the first female to hold a PhD degree in physics in Rwanda, that wasn't an easy journey.
My current job is to be a lecturer of mathematics for agricultural students on an undergraduate level. My role there is to teach not just math for the sake of teaching them mathematics, but more to train them to use math to solve agricultural problems.
Je voulais faire partie apporter quelque chose, même si c'est un petit rien, au développement de mon pays. Et l'énergie, je reste persuadée que c'est la colonne vertébrale du développement. On en a vraiment besoin. On ne peut pas parler de développement sans parler d'énergie. Donc les opportunités étaient là. Le Rwanda a donné cette opportunité à tout le monde, y compris aux femmes. Et j'ai saisi l'opportunité.
As a woman, I believe that the natural desire that I felt burning in me and pushed me to just step into the engineering is the first thing that helps me to carry out my daily activities. But also, aside from that, there are values of the company that I cannot leave aside that helps us to operate every day and achieve our goals as the company in general. I am a proactive woman. I believe in hard working. Those two work hand in hand for me to just be able to carry out everyday activities.
I'm a neurosurgeon, or what people usually say I will call a brain surgeon. I won't say as a woman, but as a person in general. I think my strengths, or what I call weapons, are more three elements: dedication, patience or perseverance, and knowledge. And I think the three of them have kept me going, and they proved to be great tools to build my career and to bring me where I am today. So I believe those are my strengths.
I would say in high school I was just following the flow. So I did mostly science at the time because I loved math. It was the easiest for me. I'm not going to lie that it was for any higher reason. I used to find anything like biology, chemistry, and history, languages extremely difficult. Because in math, I used to think that it's easier for me to solve problems once I understand what I'm doing, rather than having to memorize dates, for example, in history. So that's what really drove me towards mathematics.
You are a woman and you are doing physics. Are you crazy? This is a subject for men. Say, no, it's not for men. If you are a man and you can do it, why not me? I can do it. So it was something like that. But by this determination, self-motivation, and knowing what you want, I just did what I have to do to finish my PhD.
Je pense que je reste persuadée que les femmes, nous allons dans les détails et les hommes y regardent en général. En plus, nous sommes beaucoup plus patientes que les hommes. Nous avons beaucoup plus de persévérance quand nous avons le courage d'entreprendre quelque chose. On n'abandonne pas facilement, on fait avec notre cœur, notre âme, nos connaissances. On est vraiment dans ce qu'on fait.
My advice to young girls who are interested in STEM would be that they should fearlessly step into that career and the field. But especially I would encourage them to first look for their passion, because it's not calling upon girls to join engineering, just the number. It's not all about the number, but about the contribution that they can give for the development of the country. I believe in diversity. A diverse group is probably hard to manage, but at the end it gives a better result. So it brings more effectiveness, it brings more flexibility, it brings more of success. So I would encourage them to give their ability into the development of the country.
Tout le monde encourage les jeunes filles pour aller dans des STEM. Ces jeunes filles ont des connaissances, ont des capacités intellectuelles pour avoir les diplômes, que ce soit des mathématiciennes, que ce soit des techniciennes, que ce soit des physiciens. Elles ont les capacités intellectuelles. Mais là où j'insiste, c'est qu'il faut qu'elles descendent sur le terrain, qu'elles aillent voir les débouchés, qu'elles aillent voir les possibilités et qu'elles sentent ou qu'elles jugent avant de faire la formation, qu'elles soient vraiment sûres que c'est ce qu'elles ont envie de faire plus tard. Parce qu'il y en a beaucoup qui font les formations parce que effectivement ça fait bien. Moi j'ai fait maths physique, j'aimais beaucoup. J'ai dévié, j'ai fait une école de commerce, mais aujourd'hui je reviens dans un domaine qui est plutôt scientifique et technique. C'est parce que j'aime, je suis passionnée par ce que je fais. Il ne faut pas regarder que les capacités académiques. Il faut regarder les débouchés sur terrain. C'est vraiment, vraiment important.
I would mention two of my biggest challenges. The first one was getting to university and realizing that math was not as easy as I thought it was going to be. I was used to succeeding without studying too hard, and suddenly I find myself having to study some topics that I did find extremely difficult. So I had to adjust very quickly, but the only thing I literally did was I tried to maintain a balance in terms of working hard every day. Anytime we finished class, I would go home and I would take an hour or two to revise any topic we did that day. And that did pay off, because at the end of my first year, despite the fact that I did find it extremely challenging, I did get very good grades at the time. So I came up, I think, number 10 among 300 students, which I do believe at the time was not due to my smartness, but was mostly due that that year I worked consistently hard every day.
In a secondary school, there were these challenges between girls and boys, and they used to take them to date, and some got pregnant at some times. So in this perspective, I am telling the girls to take care of themselves, because if you get pregnant, for example, you are going to be out for 9 months, and plus 1 year for your kid to get somehow old, so that you can go back to school. So while you are struggling with those 2 years, the boys are already far away. Also, there is another challenge that girls face, is they take break on girls. They used to do that also when I was in undergraduate. They go and study, and then they want to take a break, they come to you while you are studying. So you need to know that they are taking break on you, and you have to say no. If you know how to say no, everything is going to be all right.
Challenges are many. I will, for instance, take surgery as a career. Becoming a surgeon will require some time to train as a surgeon. For instance, if I take my example, I did 6 years of medical school. I added 5 years of neurosurgery as a specialty, and I added almost 2 years of fellowship. So that's a lot. sometimes when young women think about becoming surgeons or becoming doctors, you know, rather than having kids and having family, you know, some will prefer having families. And sometimes when you marry young and you lose your ambition to grow professionally, it becomes a little bit challenging. So I think it's good to start when you're young. Then you can have both. You can have, for instance, you can finish very young. You can choose, I've seen surgeons who are married, for instance, and there are women, they are surgeons but they are married. And at a certain point, maybe you may put some priorities on your life. Say, for instance, I just finished medical school, I can have kids now and then start my specialty, but it's not that always easy because in any way it will take time. Becoming a surgeon or becoming a doctor is too demanding. You spend nights or days at the hospital.
As an aspiring scientist, the main thing that I want you to know is that you can do it. So you are smart enough to do science and you are strong enough to be able to succeed. Do not let relationship distract you because it's too early first to get distracted that much. That's number one. Secondly, if you are in a relationship with someone who is not helping you grow and get smarter and develop your career at whatever age that you are at, that's not the right person for you. A good person you should be with should always be someone who's going to lift you up and help you grow further and, you know, just open your wings and fly.
Anything else that I would like to add on is probably about parents or leaders in general, the ones who find themselves in a position of mentoring. Because I believe that if we expose young girls to the engineering and sciences early at a tender age, then it might bring a better result because they grow up knowing that those fields exist. They don't have to fear them, but it is also another option in their lives. So I believe in that if it is something that is done, that young girls are exposed to that, to the science and technology at a tender age, it will also help them to feel fit and feel better into their choices.